gorgeous? Does that funk have you feeling stuck? Have you questioning your purpose, or even yet having you asking if your best years are behind you? Girl, you have zero obligation to stay in that funk. This podcast is for women who want to get the funk out of here, who want to play bigger, ask for more, and step out of mediocrity. Imagine a life filled with lots of energy, excitement, and filled with funk instead of that funk. This is the After 40 Unfunk Your Mind podcast. I'm your host, Crystal, and I'm ready to talk some shit. Let's go! Hi, Superwomen. Welcome back. And for you first-timers joining me, welcome. Now, as I'm speaking to you, there is something in my refrigerator that stinks so bad, and I can't find it. And I'm kind of embarrassed to admit that this has been going on for 3 days. We literally open the refrigerator door, the stink comes out, I will stick my nose in there to figure out where the stink is coming from. I can't find it, so then I'll invite my husband over to put his nose in there to find out where the stink is coming from. And we have literally been doing this for 3 days. Now, telling you this, I realize that sounds ridiculous. Like, why not after the first time it stunk? Did I not just take everything out of the refrigerator and clean it? Clean the shelves, get the stink out of there wherever it's coming from. And I bet you were sitting there listening to me tell that story, wondering why I didn't do the same. Just clean out the refrigerator. Now, in full admission, I just don't want to do it. I've been sidestepping. Some people call it buffering because I just don't want to do it. So I've been doing other things to keep me from doing that thing. The thing I don't want to do. It's a choice, right? I'm just procrastinating. Not showing up and just facing the music and just cleaning the refrigerator. I would rather be doing something of pleasure, seeking fun. Something that gives me that dopamine hit, right? And the process of cleaning anything has never brought me a dopamine hit. Can you relate? Feeling entitled to feel happiness and pleasure all the time? And it holds you up from having to do those things you don't want to do, those things you need to do to change, to move forward, or to get the stink out. Is there an area in your life right now where you're feeling all funked up, that you've been holding back, or you're just not moving ahead or progressing? Or are you waiting on something? Have you told yourself you're waiting for the kids to grow up before you start investing in yourself? Or have you decided to wait on talking to your spouse about something you're thinking or an issue you're having? Or waiting for your boss to give you some recognition before you ask for that promotion? Whatever the reason, be truthful. Why are you holding yourself back? What are you waiting for? The thing is that we've all seen this story play out so many times, right? The longer you hold yourself back or the longer you wait, the more it's going to start firing up inside of you. It's going to fester. If you know it's something you should take action on, take action on it. Do you buy a book to keep reading the same chapter over and over? No. So why do you keep staying in the same chapter of your life? It's time to turn the page. Time to jump into a new chapter. Do that thing that you've been sidestepping because you wanted to avoid it. Or you've been buffering with other activities so that you don't carry it over into your new chapter. Because we all know it won't go away. The stink will not go away unless you clean it out, girl. Now, there are many reasons why we get stuck, and here are a few. Maybe you can find yourself in one of these examples. Busy. Are you staying so busy that it's keeping you from exploring, investigating things you love to do? Is busy keeping you from your dreams? And then there's the overthinker. I'm sure everybody knows this woman very well. Sitting there thinking about thoughts, spinning out in thoughts compounding on top of other thoughts, cannot just seem to get out of the thoughts. And more than likely has played out tons of scenarios in their heads with these thoughts, and they're not ever even likely to happen. Like there's 0.01% chance of that thought they're thinking ever happening. Because we're always listening to that worst case scenario thought, right? We're all guilty of it, so you're not alone. Another reason we might get stuck is due to hustle. Now, hustle is different from busy. Busy is keeping yourself busy with tasks and things that fill your day, whereas hustle is where you're trying to outrun your self-doubt. I was guilty of this one earlier in my life, trying to climb the corporate ladder and hustling, trying to get from assistant controller to controller and move up the corporate ladder to prove to myself that I could do it. And that hustle can keep you stuck. It kept me stuck because I was never focused on what it was that I truly wanted to do. I was chasing the title, the money. I was definitely in the hustle. It almost feels like you're on a hamster wheel and you never take the time to get off. Another reason you might get stuck or held back is perfectionism. Always trying to make everything perfect. But the truth is nobody wants perfect and nobody is perfect. And I've already addressed buffering and sidestepping. These are things that we do when we are trying to avoid doing what we don't want to do, like playing on the internet, scrolling through social, having that extra glass of wine, or eating that whole tub of ice cream. And the last reason we may get stuck or held back is because we're an over-planner. We've planned so much that when things don't go according to plan, we freeze. We don't know how to pivot or how to change. And wherever you found yourself in any of these examples, maybe you found yourself in one of these examples, or maybe you could relate to being all of these examples. You're not alone. And ask yourself, what if all the stuff you don't want to do, you actually put in your action line and you sign up for all of it and you do it and you get it out of the way, and that opens you up to new opportunities and allows you to start creating and turning the page into your new chapter. If you don't ask yourself to be awesome at anything, it will never rise up to be awesome at anything. You have to try and demand of yourself. Try to do different things and then obey yourself. Tell your brain to do it. Be excuseless. You can make a decision to not make excuses. And when you take action, if you keep going the same way and you don't like the results, give yourself clues to stop going that way. I loved it when another coach gave it an example. She had just moved to an area, so she didn't know very many people. And she met someone online and started dating the guy. She realized after 3 months, it wasn't really the right relationship for her. And instead of carrying on with the relationship, she left herself a clue. Under contacts, she changed his name to Do Not Answer. So that way when he texted or called, it would come up as Do Not Answer. A perfect clue, right? We use clues all the time, right? We don't usually give them to ourselves. Think about it. In a public restroom, if you walk into a toilet stall and someone forgot to flush, more than likely you're walking out of that stall and walking into another one. And we need to do the same thing with ourselves. If we just keep going in the same direction and we don't really like where we end up, we just have to have a clue to make ourselves go in a different direction. In Martha Beck's book, The Way of Integrity, she says psychologists who study change tell us that paradoxically, positive transformation happens more quickly when we do it in small steps rather than heroic leaps. And she said, imagine you're flying that plane on a 10,000-mile journey. If you change course by 1 degree to the right every half hour or so, you'll never notice a drastic change, but you'll end up in a completely different place than if you maintained your initial trajectory. Martha Beck said she advises people to steer their lives with a series of 1-degree turns, and that every single choice is a chance to turn toward the life you really want. Repeatedly putting a little less time into what you don't love and a little more into what you do love is your next step on the way of integrity. What beautiful insight from Martha Beck, right? Whether that 1-degree change is getting rid of something stinky or doing that stinky thing, whether it's dropping yourself a clue to go in a different direction, whether it's finding your excuse, they will all lead you toward an action. What actions are missing from your day to make those 1-degree turns? And if the thought of making a 1-degree turn every day seems overwhelming, what if you just make a 1-degree turn every week or every year? That's still progress. And as you continue to grow, these slivers of awareness about yourself become gold. Now I'm going to leave you with a fun little journal prompt. Write in your journal tonight, I am the woman who, ... and finish it out. Write it as if you were speaking about her today, and then write it as if you were speaking about her in 10 years from now. You can put anything you want. And then look at both answers. What stink do you need to clean out? And what 1-degree turn do you need to make to get to her? All right, Superwomen, it's time to take a little action, and let's go. Before you go, Superwoman, I'd love it if you took a little action for me. Like, subscribe to my podcast and leave a review. Also, share the episode with a friend. And as a thank you, hit up my website to crystalsumner.com, thecrystalsumner.com, to grab free journal prompts. Okay, ladies, now is the time to go on Funk Your Mind, play bigger, and ask for more. Open the door to possibility and cancel playing small. So get up and go.